The latest story is about Rachel Reeves. She never stops at the moment. Is an exit tax. Well, frankly, as far as I can see, the only person or the only one getting ready to exit is Rachel Reeves. But the damage she will do before she finally goes could be considerable. Even without delivering her budget, her innumerable hints and floaters are crippling the country. She's like a burlesque queen in some second-rate stage in the American Southwest, who teases and teases until the audience plead for her to get off the stage. There is a point where no one wants to see what she's offering because we're so bored by all the predictable possibilities. The mood of Britain's exhausted investors and the beleaguered public, I think, is fraying. Rachel Reeves has not yet unveiled her autumn budget, yet her parade of fiscal titillation has already chilled the market, unsettled entrepreneurs, and sent founders of billion-pound companies fleeing to Dubai faster than one could say settling up charge. The so-called exit tax is in truth an exit strategy, not for the rich but for the Chancellor herself. A final act of fiscal vandalism before her curtain comes down. Reeves insists it's all about fairness, bringing Britain in line with other G7 economies, but in practice it's a ransom note to those who built businesses here. Pay before you leave or we'll make sure you never can. It's as though she's chaining innovators to the docks while claiming to protect free trade. Entrepreneurs describe the policy as the final nail in the coffin, and who can blame them? When Harry Stebbings, a venture capitalist with hundreds of millions under management, warns that 15 founders of £500 million firms plan to leave, that's not bluster, it's the sound of capital wheels spinning on Heathrow tarmac. Reeves seems to believe she's taxing wealth. In reality, she's taxing aspiration, innovation, and ultimately trust. And her defenders point to America's exit tax as precedent, but the United States offsets it with the magnetism of Silicon Valley and lower corporate tax rates. Britain, by contrast, offers drizzle, decay, and the dreary promise of yet another OBR downgrade. Reeves has somehow managed to blend the worst of Brussels bureaucracy with the confidence of a student economist armed only with a spreadsheet and good intentions. And what of her justification? She blames the black hole left by Truss and Sunak, the tariffs of Trump and the sorrows of global slowdown. Everyone but herself. Yet the polls tell a simpler story. 59% of Britons now blame her and Starmer for the state of the country. The moron premium, once applied to Trussonomics, now attaches neatly to Reevesian hesitation. Investors are jittery, not because she taxes too much, but because she thinks out loud too often. Every week, every day brings a new floater, so floating in the loo, the special loo of the Treasury, dividend tax hikes, council tax rebranding, income tax rises dressed as fairness. These fiscal trial balloons are not clever signalling, they are the confetti of a funeral. And by the time the budget lands, most businesses will already have relocated or hedged. Even Keynes would have thrown up his hands at this kind of anticipatory self-harm. And let's not forget her theatrical timing. Reeves has become the Chancellor of Perpetual Prelude, a mistress of suspense who never delivers. One imagines her budget rehearsals in a dimly lit Treasury office, peeling off one promise at a time to the sound of faint groans from the bond market. The gilt yields rise, the lights flicker, the audience, that is the nation, quietly slips out, having had quite enough of this tease. The exit tax is bad. It's more than just bad economics, it's bad psychology. Entrepreneurs thrive on confidence and consistency. Reeves offers neither. Her message to innovators is clear. We don't trust you to leave, we barely trust you to stay. It's the economic equivalent of a possessive lover threatening to burn down the house rather than let you move on. Meanwhile, council tax hikes are whispered, dividend increases are leaked, Middle England braces for the knock on the door. Reeves has turned fiscal discipline into fiscal foreplay, a long, weary game in which the climax never comes, but the pain certainly does. If she truly wanted to fix the foundations, she would stop trying to squeeze the very weary middle classes where congratulating herself for restoring stability. It isn't restoring stability, it's provoking insanity. What she is restoring is fear, the very fear that drives talent abroad. Britain is not suffering from a shortage of taxes, it's suffering from a shortage of conviction. And so we return to that opening image, the burlesque act that's gone on for far too long. The audience is tired, the applause has faded, the orchestra is packing up. Rachel Reeves still believes she's performing a grand routine of fiscal prudence, but it stinks. The only ones still watching are those praying she'll finally take a bow and leave the stage. Rachel leaves, they heave. Because the truth is this, it's not just the billionaires who are thinking of exiting, it's the investors, the innovators, and the confidence of a weary nation. The only real exit tax now is the price Britain will pay for her indecision.